What's the deal? What's going on, YouTubers? And thank you for stopping by to the Comic Book Reader's Digest. Um, I finally went and saw Venom: The Last Dance, and whoo, I got a lot to talk about. I'm telling you, I got a lot to talk about. But before I really get into it, I want to remind you guys to please like and hit that like button and hit that subscribe button to you know, improve my channel because I'm really trying to do more do more content like this. And I feel also it keeps me in good headspace. Sometimes I tend to go through a little slippery slope of depression, but doing content like this, doing videos like this, and watching other people's content is really good therapy. Like, people don't really you know understand how YouTube is good therapy when you're dealing with something like that. So just want to give a little disclaimer and bring some awareness to that. But yeah, so right into Venom: The Last Dance. Now, this may be. I'm trying. I'm trying not to make it a spoiler video, but I think I might have to, just because if you haven't seen the video, if you haven't seen the movie, if you haven't watched the movie, um, please exit out of this because there might be some spoilers involved in this. But I'm gonna try to keep it as spoiler free as I can. I'll try, but I can't make any promises. But I'm kind of gonna go by each act and let you and pretty much give you a brief or full detailed take on it. So as you watch, have you heard from my last video, my expectations in this movie was pretty high. Like, as you guys know, I'm a huge Venom, Marvel comic fan. Venom's pretty much my favorite, character of the Marvel universe next to Spider-Man. And I just like everything that revolves around the Venom Spider-Man arc. So, that being said, so going to this, I had very high expectations. I had a feeling that, it was pretty much not going to disappoint for the most part. Even though there was mixed reviews out there, some people say they liked it, some people said it could have been better. But for me, overall, I liked the film. I really did. I enjoyed it. And as far as the gripes about the pacing, I thought the pacing wasn't too bad, honestly. A lot of people said there were certain scenes where the pacing, you're going to know when you see it, where it kind of took away from the film a little bit. Like, there was a lot of seriousness involved in the movie, in terms of, as the whole alien invasion thing, and, Venom and Eddie Brock having that bromance. But I feel like it wasn't too cringy, I would say. There was one scene that it was a little cringe, but it wasn't to the point where it kind of ruined the film or made it annoying for me. It was just like, yeah, I understand they're trying to, have a nice little moment, a break away from the peril, so to speak. And for I understand why they did it, and for me, it worked. For me, it was okay. It wasn't too like, they didn't prolong it, as some people might have a different opinion on that. But I felt like it wasn't that long of a pace. I felt like the action scenes was crazy. The action scenes was very good. And when they introduced No, I was pumping my fist because the way that, when you see it, the way they introduce him, it was like, this is what I'm talking about. This is Marvel coming back. This is what should have been in the works from the beginning. Now this kind of be messed up for me to say, but I'm almost kind of glad that they didn't go in the whole King the Conqueror route, because I just felt like No is just a more impactful villain than King the Conqueror, and it's like, I understand why they did it with King, because King, for those that read the comics like me, why they kind of did it with the whole King the Conqueror thing, because it does tie into the Venom arc a little bit, But I'm so glad they introduced Noel finally, because I didn't want to go to, not knowing when they're going to introduce Noel. I could be dead before they introduce Noel in the MCU. But I'm finally glad they made it like, okay, boom, we're getting deep into the MCU now. We're going cosmic. We're going into the multiverse and all that. Let's introduce a villain that that's that correlates with that. And Noel was that damn villain. Now keep in mind, I'm gonna give you guys a disclaimer. He doesn't make a big impact in the movie, so to speak. He's not like how you say Loki or or even Riot from the first Venom, where they introduce and then he becomes more proactive. He wasn't that proactive. All he was doing was sending minions to Earth to locate the codex that was inside of Eddie Brock and Venom, so that way he'd be free. Because the codex inside of Venom, Eddie Brock, is pretty much a key that unlocks Null, because the symbiotes they imprison him. So in order to free him, Null needs that codex out of taken out of Venom. So that I like how they went with that direction, because it was kind of similar to if you read King in Black, how Null was in prison, but he was in prison in the Blade, and I'm not going to spoil it too much, but there was something that happened in the story arc that freed him. But I like how they used the codex in this, and they used it very well. So that was good. That was pretty much my high points with the movie. And the very I'll say that by the third act was crazy. I'm gonna say it was epic because, man, whoo, I don't want to spoil it for you, but I'm telling you, when you guys see the ending fight battle, it was crazy. All right. I'm gonna give you a hint because I know a lot of people are like, well, give me a little taste. Okay, I'm gonna give you a similar. It's similar to how Iron Man 3, where Tony Stark was jumping through the different suits. Now take that and think of Venom. Think of Venom. Where I'm going with it. So I'm not going to spoil it, but you kind of have an idea what I'm referring to. So that give you any kind of indication or a hint of how epic that third act in this movie is. So yeah, it's kind of similar to that. And also the characters. Oh man, I can't pronounce his name. Shotwell Elfawar, who used to be Baron Mordo in the Doctor Strange movie. He was the villain. He plays a good Rex Strickland. Like he's like, to me, the comic version of Rex Strickland. That I'm glad they cast him, because he portrayed that role very well, very well. He was real good. And Juno Temple, uh, man, what can I say? Like she was very proactive in this movie, and she kind of had a backstory too, which in a way it was kind of messed up, but you know it kind of made her a lot stronger, going forward, and her working with the Life Foundation. And oh man, and there was this other lady too. Um, she was real good. Rex Rex called her a nickname. I'm not gonna spoil it for you. You gotta go to see it in the movies to get what I'm talking about. But yeah, she was also good. She was very good. I actually liked her. I liked her. She had like a little quirkiness, stoic demeanor about her, and like Rex kind of found her weird, but she ended up proving herself to Rex, which was, yeah, it was pretty badass. Um, man, it was so much good substance in this movie, man. Um, the fights, of course, like I said, the fight scene, the CGI was pretty decent. It wasn't over the top. The scene they went to, in the trailer when they went to Vegas, that was also good. I like that. Um, man, man, this was dope. My only gripe with this movie, I don't know, it felt short. I wish it was a little bit longer because it just seemed like there was a lot more stuff they could have brought to the fold in this movie. Like this was supposed to be the movie that was gonna like to me felt like it was gonna be the whole multiverse. It was gonna. It kind of does. It sets the tone for how the multiverse is gonna play out in the future. But I felt like it could have just made a more impactful, revelation to that. Like, it's the way they were setting things up and the way they were treating the other symbiotes. Um, it was crazy. Yeah, like I just felt like they could have just went the extra mile with it. Toxin, which Mulligan, the cop, he had like a small part in it, but I mean he did a good job for what it was. Um, and man, I'm telling you, this movie was fire. I don't care what nobody say. This movie is fire. See a lot of people said that Venom, Let There Be Carnage sucked. I thought it was good. I think the reason why a lot of people felt like it sucked, it wasn't gory because of the whole Carnage, thing. But man, this movie here, top that, top the first one. Like I said, no, this is the ironic part. As small of a role Noel had in this movie, right? He made the most impact. That's what I'm saying. His role, as small as it was, made the most impact of the movie because it kind of like introduced the way how Thanos was introduced coming into the Avengers Infinity Wars, right? Remember how they kind of give you a little cameo of Thanos. He introduced himself in the first Avengers movie, right? And then he kind of like goes from there, slowly building up to where he's really gonna make his mark. That's what they setting Noel up for. Like that's like the whole Noel montage. That's what blew me away. The way he was talking, his voice, it sounded menacing. You could feel the power. You could feel like the peril. Like you could feel almost like you could feel him coming down to invade us. Like how impact that's how much of an impact he made when they did the introduction to him. Like Noel is man, that's comic book Noel right there. I'm glad. And the person who played him, I was shocked when I saw the end credits, found out that it was Andy Serkis. Because there was rumors talking about Norman Reedus was supposed to play him. I wanted Luke Goss to play him, the same guy that played Nomak in Blade 2. He was in also in Hellboy 2, The Golden Army, where he was Prince Nubius. But the thing about Prince Nubius, he looked just like Noel. So you would think they would hire that same person that played Prince. I forgot how you say Nubius, Nueba, or whatever his name is. He would have been perfect. He would have been the absolute perfect Noel. But Andy Serkis did an amazing job as Noel. I ain't gonna hold you. He did an amazing job as Noel. Like I was shocked. I was like, holy shit, Andy Serkis, same guy that did Planet of the Apes, the same guy that played Useless Claw and fucking Black Panther. He's no, like man, that blew me away. That blew me away. His performance was top tier, top goddamn tier. Oh man, pardon my French, but man, this movie, whew, I got it. I mean, if I was to rate this at a 1 to 5 star rating, I have to give it at least 4.5. I ain't gonna go the whole 5 because I felt like they could have did a little bit more in the movie. But as far as this movie goes, this movie was fire, and the ending was just epic as hell. Like I was like, man, it was so much going on, but you could follow what was going on with the action and everything, and it was just like you like when you watch that action sequence, you don't even want it to end. Like that's how good that last scene, that last action scene was. Like, damn, I want this to go on at least for another half hour or something. Like that would have put the movie over the top right there. But yeah, for what it was, man, it's good. I'm definitely gonna go see it again. Like this is a movie you can see at least 2-3 times easily. You can see it twice in the theaters, once on streaming. That's usually how I do anyhow. But yeah, this movie was fire. I recommend anybody to go see this. If you're a Venom fan like me, you're gonna love this movie because you're gonna love the characters that they portrayed in it, that took from the comic books and they put into it, and it actually worked. It worked because I had my little reservations at first, like how they gonna do this King of Black saga. You know, once I already knew